hot diggity dog, we're live. We made it. We got on. So let's go over just a couple real quick things. I'm going to show you how I made these cards real quick as people come in. And I'll show you, hang on, I'm going to show you something. In the Painty papers that I had made, I had on the backs of some of them, I had used Post-its. And I have saved the Post-its here. I'll just pull one out. They won't necessarily be the ones that came from the area, but like that would have been something like that in there. And when I peeled them off, I have all of these in here left over. And so what I did this morning is I pulled some of those out and added, I went in my scrap bag, this here, and I had some strips of white paper that were 3 3/4 inches wide. So I just doubled that. So I cut some 7.5 inch strips out of the 3 3/4 inch strips I had. And I just made these little cards. I did have to go pull out a piece of black cardstock to cut the 3.5 inch mat to go behind them. But this is just a Post-it on a black piece of cardstock on a white piece of scrap. So I used up all kinds of leftovers. And then I stamped it with the stamp Mary Hill gave me. So, and I've made 5 of these. 4 of them will be going out in swaps. So I thought I would just go ahead and put them in their swaps. That's my extra. And seal up the swaps while I wait to see if anybody shows up. And if not, I'll just start working on stuff. So this is the one that goes in Katie's basket. Then this is the envelope I did a year ago that I had in my stash that's a fall theme. And I'm using it to mail my Painty papers to Katie. And I'm going to get these in the mail after we finish up here. Or if we're too long, I'll run these up to the post office tomorrow. But I just thought I would, while I'm waiting, I would go ahead and finish packaging up some things. I've got my coin swaps here ready to go as well. I've already addressed the envelope, so I'm trying not to share the front of it. And I'll just trim those away. The little flaggy bits of tape. I like to protect the ends so that they don't get crunched. In the mail. And then I've got my bag to go to the post office here, and I'll just drop them in here real quick. Here's another one I made in an envelope I decorated, and these had the bees on them. And I need to turn that automatic focus off real quick. But all these cards were made out of just leftover bits from my bag of bits, as well as the Post-it notes that I used to make journaling spots in the Painty papers. It'll just take me just a second to get that turned off. We'll turn that off. And I might come in just a little bit closer. There we go. And refresh. And hopefully that'll quit it from being jerky, because I know it really bothers Rose and Janet. So anyway, these are the Post-its, like I said, that I used to make the journaling spots on my Painty paper. And now I'm turning them into just little cards. And then these are the coins that are ready to go. See if I can get it in there. I hope they see the cards are in here when they get to them. They'll probably charge me a fortune for these chunky little envelopes. But I've got a bunch of these little envelopes and I want to use them up. So hopefully I won't have to pay too much. You'd think it'd be just a couple of dollars, but I bet they'll try to charge me like $6 for just a little fat padded envelope because of the thickness, which I think is crazy. So what I was planning to do was, if we get enough people in here, I want to make sure I'm putting the right card in the right envelope. That would be embarrassing. Is maybe have everybody call off journaling prompts, and we could do a background on a folder and then create a journal. But if not too many people show up, I might just do it any old which way I want to and pretend I had a prompt. You think they'll go at like $2.85? I could deal with that. But man, if they want to charge me like $6, that's just crazy. I can't get that. I just don't want them to get caught in the machine. So I'll have all of my coins ready to go, and my Painty paper swap with Lisa's group is all ready to go, and then I'll be caught up with swaps until I get, I've got some other things I've got to do. I got to do some hidden angel work for one of my groups of journal peoples. So anyway, I'm going to get my file folder and start working on it. And I guess I'll just pull prompts. Somebody's texting me, of course. Hi, Kathy Whitney. Hi, Tanya. Who was that? Oh, it's Jerry and them. I should let them know I'm live now. All right, so I'm going to put those out of the way. And I'm going to do mine just a little bit different, Tanya, than you did, because I don't care for the pocket on the bottom for some reason. It doesn't work with these center folders. It worked fine with my thick folders I had. In fact, I could use another thick folder, but I want to use these thin ones up. It just buckled so bad. I don't know what it was, so I just cut the pocket off at the bottom. And that's all coming up there. And just had a little pocket here. So basically what I'm going to do to get started on this is just paint it. So I'm just going to open this out flat. And I'm just going to do the whole back of this because, like you say, if you trim it away, then I'd have more things that I could make little tuck-in cards. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just pull the sticks. Hi, Joyce. And we'll just do some of these prompts. For anybody that wants to play, you can. Oh, I wanted to show this. I saw this pretty leaf outside, and so I'm trying an experiment. I've laminated it, and it looks like it still had a little bit of moisture in it because you can see that white bit. So I'm wondering if this will hold up. And then I just trimmed around the edge. Thought how cute that would be if I punched a hole in it and hung it in a journal. But that was just something that was on the table. Intrigued me. So I'm going to decorate a piece of this, and I will keep track of the prompts and put them in the description box. And anybody that wants to play along can. I've dumped some other prompts in here, but I haven't gotten them on sticks yet. So I'm going to start pulling prompts. If you want to play along, you can. I'm just going to kind of work these like I normally would and not worry too playing along and who isn't. So I'll leave it up to you. If you are playing along and I'm going faster than you can keep up with, just let me know and I'll tell you what the next one was. All right, so I'm going to pull out the first one. Book or music paper? Stack them off to the side here. So I'm just going to put some, that'll actually strengthen this thin folder up really well for me. Let's see here. Just pull some pictures, some bits out of here. Kathy's finishing up a set of ATCs. Got to beat them all. There we go. I'm just going to use some matte medium. I think I'm just going to tear this up into irregular shapes. And just glue it down until there's no more to glue down. I tried to get up early and catch Mary, and I got part of the end of hers, but then I fell back asleep. And then Scott and I came on for just a little while this morning to be sure that I could get on, since I had so much trouble last night. I want to go over to the Goodwill Clearing Center that's near our house down in Casey if we have time this weekend, but I think we're going to be too busy. Scott said he's been kind of bored at work this week, that he hadn't had a lot to do. And as soon as he says something like that, that's when they roll in a ton of stuff for him to do. And he's on his feet out on the floor working with the young ladies that are doing the putting the things together, you know, manufacturing. And that's rough on his ankles to be out on that concrete. Hi, 33rd. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Kathy. Ruby is here having some trouble. At the bottom, make sure you're at 720. There's a little gear. If you hold it over the screen where I am, there'll be a little gear pops up. If it's set down at like 360, it'll buffer like crazy. So that might be something you need to check too. That's on a laptop. I don't know how to see them on the phone. I've never tried seeing where you can make that adjustment on a phone. And for anybody new that might be just sitting and watching, this is called mixed media, and you just layer stuff on to a project, and you end up with some really cool results. And you don't have to think about it really hard. You just do whatever prompt you pull out. We're using some prompts, art prompts, and you just do what it says on that stick, and then you move on and do the next thing. And I'm going to make a art journal cover with this, but you can also take and use this paper in another project by chopping it up and utilizing it that way. Hey, Tanya, y'all getting that water out of there under your house? I'm sure it doesn't have anywhere to go right at the moment. When Hugo came through, we had a mess even in the Columbia area because it actually picked up speed. I told Scott, I said, if we're ever down anywhere near the middle of the state or near the coast ever when a storm like that's coming, I'm getting out. I'll go somewhere. I'm not going to try to sit through it. That was terrifying to me. And Greg was little. Greg was only 2 when that came through. And he just slept through it. It was nothing to him. but we could hear the trees coming down in the neighbor's yard, and we saw balls flying by and then tree limbs, and that's pretty scary. Oh, you do not have a basement? It's just sitting water. That's rough. We can't have a basement down, where our house is, but they have basements up here in the upstate near the mountains, and you have to have a sump pump going, and have it ready to go. Like this little basement, there's a hole, of course, where the water all runs to, and the sump pump is sitting in there, and we'll hear it come on in the middle of the night if we're getting a lot of rain. That's why I would never try to finish a basement out down here and use it for anything except storage, and then I would put shelves way up on the wall. I put down a piece of newsprint paper to try to protect the table. Hopefully that'll work. The other day I got sprays on the table and it stained it pretty good. I'm going to try to bleach it out. I thought I was going to be really fast with this, but I shouldn't have ripped these up in such little pieces, I think. And I turned the air conditioner off so that y'all wouldn't have to listen to it while I was on here, because it's less than 6 feet from me and it just makes so much noise. I'm sure it's annoying. Started watching this show called Sisters on Netflix last night. That is one weird show. Sometimes they come out with good ones, and then other times they come out and, really bad shows. Like we enjoyed Longmire when it went to Netflix only. And I liked how they finished the story up so you don't feel like you were, left behind. I may regret putting that all the way across there, but we'll see. Scott got our bedroom door. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Scott got our bedroom door sanded, so he's already got it up here on the porch. I've got to paint it at some point before it gets dark, because I'm sure tomorrow he'll sand the closet doors. It's down at our house. We have those bypass sliding doors, and we pulled them down. We're painting all the doors a nice crisp white so they don't stick out like a sore thumb as they are right now. It looks more finished. I don't think my mother-in-law likes it that we're painting them, but we told her we got to do what we got to do to sell this house. And we never heard any more about the call the realtor got on our 10 acres that we're trying to sell. And yes, we'd live on one of them if they were anywhere close to Scott's job, but neither one is. They're all hours away from here, and that's just not practical. And we don't want to rent, because the people here have a tendency of when they rent, they don't appreciate what they have because it's not theirs, and they go in and they tear it up. And I just don't want that headache at this time in my life. I want to garden and sew and create and craft and that kind of stuff. I don't want any part of renting. And if you, they double your property taxes if you aren't the one living in the house here. So I don't want to spend $2,000 a year just on taxes either. Almost got all of it set down here. I don't know what that is. It'll add texture. Oh my. I think the recycled parts for art gang is chit-chatting their heads off. Oh. Oh, wow. That's a lot of water. I am going to make another journal cover. I've already filled 3 journals with Painty paper from you guys that were in the Painty paper swap with my group. I'm going to have to trim that. So, and I've got enough to make 2 more journals with 3, oh gosh, the word always escapes me. I might end up having to turn this air on because it's getting sticky in here. Signatures. Yeah, that's it. But I'm getting word that more is going to be mailed off to me. So, and I'm trying to do 3 per journal. All right. So that was prompt 1. Add book or music paper. I'm going to go stick this in some soapy water. And I'm going to turn the air conditioner on. Hi, Janet. I'll show you the journal again. I've got the one I did with y'all sitting here. This is really built up. I'll just set that there. So this is what I'm making. And I'm going to change mine up just a little bit to make it work for me. But this is Dawn's Crafty Room, Kathy Whitney, and Danny Coleman's papers are in this journal. And I shared these in a video last night. So this is what I'm making, is this part of it. And then I'll sew the papers in like I did these. Let me go stick this in some soapy water. I'll be right back. Watch it tell me to stick something else out. Maybe I'll just put it in water. All right, and the chat has disappeared again. There it is. All right. Ooh, I bet that was, as long as you don't end up with a gator under the house, that would be my main worry. Or a boa constrictor or something like that. Ooh. My cousin's son works down there with the wildlife. He said it can get exciting. Yay, Linda T says she's done with prompt 1. I'm going to have to turn this on, but I'm going to keep it to where it just comes on to take the stickiness away. So you might hear, yeah, it's going to kick on now. So I'm going to pick another red one. Let's see, I don't want to get them where they are off on the side because that's where I stuck the ones we did last time. Use a napkin. So any kind of napkin that you want. If you want it to be a fall theme, you can use a fall napkin. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. And see, I told y'all I was going to end up needing that stinking glue brush that I just put in the water. Of course. So I'm going to grab a napkin out of the closet here. I'm just going to blindly grab. So whatever I get is what I'm going to use. All right, we're getting a cow and a pig. and a cow and a pig. All right. Somebody gifted this to me. Now, I'm going to be trimming this down or up. What was it, 9.5 inches? I think that's it. Nope, there's one more layer there. So one of my hairs is falling down and was tickling my arm and driving me nuts. So I'm thinking I can get maybe one more of the piggy section down there. I might stick the other on the inside later. Because I only want a single layer here. And there's one more layer on here because I can see it. I'll look up in just a minute. All right. Piggies. I think I'm going to tear this. And then I can overlap it just a little bit. All right, so we'll stick one down and then I'll go on. Okay, so just 9 inches. Okay, where's my ruler? See how far down we want the piggies. So right about here. I'm just going to put one little mark and then eyeball the rest. Of course, these could end up getting totally covered up. You know, that's happened before with us. Oh, man. Why did I put it on so tight? I just was using this. Whack-a-mole. Boy, the mail lady went flying past the house today, and I told Scott, I said, no mail. He's like, how can you tell? I said, there she goes. He was just laughing at me. But he brought me work to do up onto the porch, so I'm going to have to go do that in a little bit. I know better than to try to make this totally smooth, but, you know, it's hard to fight that urge. And this is really thin napkin. And of course, there's a feline at the door thinking this is when they need to come in. It's about his lunchtime. What he doesn't know is there's no more canned cat food in the house. I've got to make a trip out and get groceries. So I've got plenty to do. This is taking longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. It's all good. As long as we're having fun, I'm not freezing, I'm not dropping, and I'm here. That's the plus side. I actually got on today. Last night was bizarre. I'm going to have to bump that up so it'll cut off for a minute because it's drying my glue out too fast. Oh, I watched some movie on Netflix the other day when I was just sitting here working on stuff, doing my packaging on the artist trading coins and cards, called Wild Oats, and it had Shirley MacLaine in it. That was a hoot. Oh, I didn't. I thought I saw the cow and the pig, but there's a sheep in between them. I didn't see that until just now. Peg and Shell got me wanting to go get some paper clay now. I was watching them a little earlier. I'm intrigued about what y'all are going to do next week with the stuff. So it sounds like fun. Whoops, got too much. Woohoo! A 50-foot Ethernet cable. And Scott said the cable we have will work with my new computer. I just have to be brave enough to open the port wider. He said it's a hinged port, and I didn't realize that. I was trying to just put it straight in. All right, somebody's absolutely crying at the door, so let me go see what's going on. What is it, Tilby? Come on. All right, you have to be good. I'll pick you up and put you in your bed if you're not good, boy. Do not jump up. He's like, I'm going to. I'm going to jump right up in the middle of everything. Because I'm a cat, and that's what I like to do. I bet everybody else has got their napkin stuck down and is ready to go. No, Bubby. You can't come up right now. No, no. I'll look at chat in just a second. Woo! No, boo-boo. No. Come on. Oh. You have to go night-night over here, okay? Go night-night. Lay down. Lay down. Just go to sleep for a little bit. You can't even see that sheep on this paper. I can't see it, but I can see it when I'm up close. So I know there's a little sheep in between the pig and the cow. But other than that, I wouldn't know they were there. Okay, I need to stop because I'm pulling the napkin apart. All right, stop, Becky, stop. Just stop it. All right. So now, let's see. Well, maybe that'll help. I'm currently on my Wi-Fi, but if we start having problems, I will go and get the cable and bring it out. I'm going to go stick this back in the water, and then we'll draw the next prompt. All right, so now question. Do y'all want to just keep with red prompts, or do you want me to mix in an orange stick every once in a while? I was going to just do the red, blues, and yellow sticks. I'm going to dry this real quick. No, I'm not. I lied. It's not plugged in. We had that freaky storm, and I just reached down and jerked everything out of the strip because I don't trust the strip 100%. I'll trim all this away over here in just a second. Well, I really tore that napkin up at the front, but it'll be all right. We'll make it work. And it'll probably have these pigs and cows and sheep buried anyway. The red ones are things that would go down kind of first. The blue ones would be kind of the second thing, and then the yellow ones would be stuff we wanted to do dead last, like doodle, things that you'd want to be totally at the top, add a focal image, that kind of stuff. And then the orange are fall themed kind of things. So I'll pull another red unless y'all want to add the orange ones in. No, Tippy. Honey, you cannot come up right now. I'm busy. Oh. I'm going to pull a red one out of the middle here. Ugh, finger paint. That might work good, I guess. I think I'm going to get some red paint. I need to get wet ones too. I'm just taking it a little bit, okay? And then we'll quiet. Let me finish what I'm doing. And then we'll quiet. Right? Go in there. Lay down. Be a good boy. So we get to finger paint. My son would never finger paint. He could not stand anything on his hands. Nothing. And now he loves to get his hands messy. Who'd have thunk it? We had some issues after Boy Scout camp too, where he was washing his hands like 10, 12 times a day. But I found out later he was brutalized at camp by other boys. So he didn't last long in Boy Scouts because he got tired of being the brunt of all of their fun. Oh, Tippy. They don't want to hear you play the blinds. I'm not going to put any in the middle. I need to move that card I made before I get paint on it. And Mary has gone to a book sale at the library. And I bet she is having a blast. Because that sounds like it would be an absolute ton of fun. All this down here is going to get cut off anyway, but I still want to add some color and stuff to it so I can use it on other projects. All right, I finger painted. Now, add some to my drop paper before I get a wet one. Sounds like, of course, the neighbor wants to mow now. So who all's come in? Peg's here now, and 33rd, you're Ruby. Yeah, everybody that's in my Facebook group, if you have not read and agreed to the swap guidelines, you need to do it before the 15th, because on the 16th, I am going to go in and I'm going to do a purge of everybody that has not read those and agreed to them. Whether you go into a swap at all with the group, I want everybody to have read it. And if you just say you've agreed to it, you agree to it. And just in case you want to join a swap in the future. I'm just trying to do a house cleaning. I think sometimes that needs to happen. Oh, there's a fly in the blinds. Pumpkin, I'll raise the blind and you can catch that fly for me. He's like, well, you took half the fun away from this, mother. He's going to lay down there and get it. Oh, you got to get, my son had his wisdom teeth out when he was 13 or 14, and he had all 4 of them done at once. And when Scott and I had first met, I had to have all 4 of mine pulled at once. And we were just dating at the time, and he paid for my removal of my wisdom teeth. And come to find out, if I'd had my wisdom teeth removed when I was much younger, I wouldn't have had some major molars removed to make room in my mouth for the teeth I had. Because I had my upper jaw where you're supposed to be like a U like this. Mine was indented like an hourglass because the teeth were shoving so much. So they took 4 of my molars out, right, one behind each canine tooth, and put braces on. And then I quit wearing the retainer like a bad girl, and those spaces opened back up a little bit. But my front teeth are still straight. Yeah, Scott was joking about he needed to go and do his 2 hairs and get them in nice, neat order before he went to work this morning. I told him, I said, you are just jacked up. Anyway, love that guy. Wouldn't have anybody else. So, all right, I'm going to pull another red one. If you get left behind, just let me know which one you just finished and we'll go back over them. Okay, use purple. Use purple, which will go good with red. Now you can add purple any way you want to. I'm thinking I'm just going to get a sponge this time and not use my fingers. You want to go outside, buddy? You want to go outside? I think you should go outside. I think it would be good for you to go outside. You want to go outside? I don't have any cat food, honey. I'm out. I'm all out of cat food, bud. I'm going to go get groceries in a little bit. He thought I was heading to the kitchen. He went running. I'm just going to put a little bit out of my drop paper. Maybe go around my cows a little bit here and there. Oh, that sheep is there too. I keep forgetting about the silly sheep. Okay, the first one was book or music paper. Second one was use a napkin. Third, finger paint. And fourth, use purple. Just let me know if you need me to read them back one more time. I didn't put out enough paint. I just didn't want to waste paint. course, it's never a waste if you stick it on something else, isn't it? Janet will type them in here in just a second for anybody that's just coming in. Oh, it's getting so sticky in here. Sorry, guys. I got to have the air on. About to die. Did y'all see the little meme where there's some guy made up this meme? Tired of seeing children's back to school pictures? And then he said, try 8,176 days of work. And he was standing on the porch with a backpack on and his work clothes. Scott said, that is just so silly. I said, I would agree. But funny. Still funny. That fly is not long for this world if Tippy has his way. Tippy came in for his lunch like he normally does, but I am out of Fancy Feast. So all right, let me see. And I couldn't figure out what was going on last night with YouTube, and then I couldn't figure out what was going on with Zoom because some folks wanted to do Zoom, and I couldn't even get on that. So I have no idea. I'm just going to push this in here. The cat. Oh, we've got some activity in the background.